Every league and every sport carries its own burdens and trials, but sometimes it becomes too much to bear. As an idea floated around on a quiet Sunday morning began to take off, a new fantasy football league began to form. But nobody knew to what reaches it would extend. Every year, a new page is written in the book of fantasy football. It is, however, in the off-season where it seems some of these chapters of that book lose their way. With visions of the draft looming for some, turmoil begins to brew for others. The stability of any league depends and relies upon the guidance, care, and authority of its commissioner. But what happens when it's the commissioner who causes the stirs in the league? How can order and justice be enacted when it's the presider of these ideals that needs the most attention from them? Can the rest of the league simply sit back and watch as chaos runs rampant? We look into this at the commissioner of the Hounds and the owner of the team known as Defender in this edition of Inside the Hounds. Things were not always as bad as they seem to be these days, so to gather some first-hand information, we sought out former member of the league and owner of the G-Men to talk with us. Now, Craig, we understand that you were a member of the Hounds League for 2 seasons, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, and what sort of feeling did you get from the commissioner, Paul Wortham, when you first entered the league?
I got a lot of enthusiasm, lots of sweet action, sometimes the sweetest of all action.
Okay, well, it seemed fairly organized at that time. What about by the time the 2010 season had ended? How were things then?
Well, not so good. I felt like the commissioner may have lost touch with the crew, sporadically not showing up to the designated watching area, lack of control possibly for a league, let John Rathbun in, not good. I felt the league was going in a downward spiral.
Okay, is there anything that you'd like to compare the status of the league to by the time you left, or something maybe put it in perspective?
I don't know, a train wreck. I was getting tired of teams that had no business doing anything with terrible drafts, getting really lucky every week. No names, but some sort of doggy.
Okay. Now, after you had left after your second season, was there any doubt in your mind that you made the right decision?
At first I was a little, upset that I may have blown an opportunity, but I just didn't see any sweet action anymore. There was no action whatsoever. I just felt I needed to part ways for my benefit.
Okay, and speaking of parting ways, it looks like you made the right decision for you. What's your impression of the league these days, considering what happened last season and some other stories that you've been hearing about the league since then?
Well, I seem to think it's in kind of a standstill. I'm worried about it. I made the right decision. I'm in a different league currently. Not 100% happy with that league, but I don't know. I think it could be better, and I think more active participation by the commissioner may help.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your time today, and good luck to you in your other league.
And good luck to the JETS Jets.
Thank you. As news slowly leaked out about several teams' outlandish offseason activities, one theme began to emerge. The one theme was the utter lack of intervention by the commissioner of the league. While his stay-and-do-nothing action began to anger some owners, it wasn't until the truth of his wildish offseason that surfaced, and his inaction quickly became a hot issue for the league. Some say it all began here, in the parking lot of a large retail store. While Star Kerrigan owner Kevin Hennings may have made this patch of asphalt behind me famous, it was the grass that was christened by Defender owner Paul Wortham. It was here where the fall from a trusted and inspiring commissioner into the corrupt, outlandish figure of power began. We wanted to find out firsthand what sort of activities this commissioner was involved in, so we went to the source. Now, we were not able to get a face-to-face interview with Commissioner Paul Wortham, but we were able to reach him via phone for a quick interview. Paul, are you there with us?
Yeah.
Okay. There have been many activities going on this off-season, but what everyone really wants to know is, well, what was going on with you? What were you doing during the off-season?
I'm taking advantage of young women like that and everything.
Young women, okay. Were they the only type, or were there other types of girls that you were involving with?
90-year-olders.
Okay, that's quite the diversity, I'll say. Actually, is that a party going on in the background? Because we're getting A lot of background noise is coming in to us here.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, what we really want to do is get some information from you regarding an incident that allegedly occurred during the off season involving a female victim. Might you remember this incident? The way you were treating her, acting toward her. She was complaining that you were very aggressive.
Out of
Yeah, I
oblivion.
think her name was Rachel. Do you remember the night that I'm talking about in question? Were you aware that we had a secret team of investigators following you during that encounter?
What's the odds of that?
Now, with that in mind, would you like to recant your view of the delinquency of others in comparison to your own actions, or do you still want to stick with that story?
You know, here's the whole thing about it. I think that Jets is probably the most delinquent of all people involved in the league. And I know this is getting on recorded.
The draft for the 2012 season has been cleared to continue on time by league officials. However, based on the actions and words of the commissioner, it is sure that the Hounds will never be the same. As wounds begin to heal, owners will fight their way back to respectability. We can only hope that this new season will bring with it promises of a brighter future. As the league transitions away from its ascent into chaos over the course of the 2012 season, it's clear that the inexcusable acts of this commissioner were caught and dealt with just in time, and 2013 looks to be the happy ending to this fairy tale story.